and welcome to Cooking in Kitchens, episode 4. Today we are, this is actually not from the magazine that I've got coming out. This one's from All Recipes? No, Live Well Baking. Live Well Bake Often. Reason why we're doing this is because the lady of the house's birthday is coming up, and so this is a special request. So, and there's no key lime recipe in the in this magazine. Maybe one will come up in the future. Who knows? So for right now, yeah, we've got our ingredients here set up. We're even going to be making the crust too, so it's a graham cracker crust. Pretty simple, 3 ingredients: just some graham crackers, butter, and some sugar. All right, so let's see here, and I'll leave a link to this recipe down in the descriptions if it looks fantastic on this. So we start off for the crust. We're looking at 1.5 cups of graham cracker crumbs, a 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, and 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. So I've already got the butter melted right here. I went ahead and took care of that because we don't need to wait around for that. And then for the pie filling, we've got our key lime juice. Unless you live like in the Florida Keys or something like that, or someplace where you can actually get just key limes. We've got some of this juice here. This one is Nellie and Joe's famous Key West lime juice. Heard good things about it. It's the first time I've tried it. And then we've got 2 14-ounce cups of sweetened condensed milk. Now when I was out shopping for this, I tried to look for something as simple as possible. Some of these companies will like to add extra syrups or something like that in it. This one's from California Farms, and it is just milk and sugar. Or maybe sugar and milk, I don't know. But who'd have thought that if you load just a whole bunch of sugar into some milk, you wouldn't have to refrigerate it. Funny how that works. So yeah, I've already got those mixed up or poured into here. You don't really need to see me using a can opener. Caution, very sticky and messy. I had a bit of a cleanup when I got done with that. And then we've got 5 large egg yolks. And so we've got our yolk separator here. All right, and then there is, key lime pie wouldn't be key lime pie without whipped cream. And I'm not going to be making that here. You can go buy it, or you can get yourself, if you like to whip your own cream, more than welcome to. I had actually picked up I got this really sleek whipped cream dispenser. And it didn't come with any nitrogen bulbs, so I had to order them, and they're not here yet. So we're just going to be using regular old pre-pressurized whipped cream out of the can. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and get started by crumbing up these graham crackers, and I'll probably have to do it in segments. I'm just using a mini prep here. It's a very easy cleanup, and I had just replaced the blade on this guy, and the old blade was still pretty sharp, but the plastic on it was starting to crack, and I figured it was about time. It's like decades old, so I figured it was about time to get a new one. So we're just going to go ahead and slice and dice this up. Go ahead and pour this right into the pot, or into the pie tin, or pie glass. So I'm not using a tin on this, I'm using glass. rest of these in here. Okay, next up, and then add the sugar, 1/3 cup. We just roll with it here. And as I've stated in the past, I don't ever pre-cook these things. I don't try them out first. We just do all this stuff on the fly here, and it can be an adventure. Throwing that back in there, I might need it. Mix this together with a whisk. All right, next up, add the melted butter and stir until fully combined and all the crumbs are moistened. We'll go ahead. Since we're cooking this right here, and of course, it probably would be easier to use it in a mixing bowl. I'm just trying to cut down on some dishware. Looks like all the graham crackers are moistened, at the very least. I don't think that this kind of crust is supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be like this. You know, not doughy, because we gotta press it in. And then it says, preheat oven to 350, because this does have to cook first before we even before we cook the pie itself, the whole thing. So that oven heats up pretty quickly, so it shouldn't take too long. Next up, scoop the mixture into a 9-inch pie plate. We've already got that firmly pressed down into an even layer on the bottom and up around the sides of the dish. So to press this down, I had to look this up, and people were recommending just using a measuring cup. And remember, this doesn't have to look pretty, at least on the bottom, because it's where all the pie filling's gonna go into. Although getting this to stay up on the edges might be a little challenging. Alrighty. So this is going to bake for 10 minutes as soon as that's ready. 350 isn't that, it's not that hot of a temperature, so it shouldn't take all that long. So we can go ahead and clean up for right now. Still heating up. It does call for 5 whole egg yolks for the filling. To make the filling, combine the key lime juice, sweetened condensed milk, and egg yolks in a large whisking bowl and whisk until fully combined. So we're going to go ahead and crack open 5 of these bad boys. One thing I've found is to be very, very careful because you're working on a small, I guess like surface, small little catch. You might need like a knife or a fork to get the yolk and the white to separate out properly. Alright, the oven is all set. I'm just going to take a sec to throw that in. So that's one. Pie crust is in there. And one thing to be sure or to be careful about when you are putting it in there, be delicate with it because the crumbs haven't set in. So if you bump it too hard, the walls of the pie crust can fall in. Okay, so as soon as you get your egg white mess cleaned up, because nobody ever said cooking was supposed to be clean, we're going to add in the key lime juice. One cup. Now, simple process. Whisk this together. Although, looking at this, probably could have gotten, make sure, you know what, save yourself a hassle. If you have a large mixing bowl, just use a large one. It's going to give you more room to actually get some good whisking going on. And anytime you're doing any sort of mixing, more movement you can get into this. I have this bad habit of trying to get exactly the size that I need for it, being trying to be efficient and all that, and I end up shooting myself in the foot because I don't give myself enough room to actually mix anything. But here we are, we've got everything appropriately whisked together, and I believe we've still got 3 minutes on our pie, or on our crust. Well, this is just the waiting game for the moment. If you have a big pile of egg whites, it's gonna be a nice breakfast in the morning. And here we have some freshly baked pie crust. It's still hot, so I'm not going to set this directly on the countertop here, but it does need about 10 minutes to cool. And then after your pie is, or the crust here is cooled, we're going to go ahead and pour the filling in. And be careful, take it slow when doing it, because you don't want to pour it too fast and end up breaking up the pie crust. But the pre-bake on it should make it solid enough to where you can actually pour your filling in. And this is actually the first time I've not just baked key lime pie, but really any pie. So we are going to see how this one turns out. Now this pie is going to go in for 18 to 22 minutes, same temperature, so you won't have to you don't have to adjust the temperature or cook it at higher. I just left the oven on so that it would stay at temp. 18 to 22 minutes or until the top of the pie is set, and the pie will still be a little jiggly. You remove it to the oven, transfer to a wire rack to cool for 2 hours, and then transfer to the refrigerator to chill for 6 hours, or at least overnight. So we're going to have this sitting overnight. When it's done, I will top it off and get some photos on here and snap it in, carve it into place. I just realized that I didn't turn my video lights back on, so that's probably why this section is this final section is a little dark, but that's okay. And then a couple things you can do to garnish it. I picked up a lime here. So you can zest your lime and then slice it up into thin slices and garnish the top of your whipped cream. So we'll get that all set up for you, and you'll get to check it out when it's finished. Or I'll get some photos clipped in here. So this is going to go into there, 18 to 22 minutes, and then 8 hours worth of cooling. So thank you so much for checking this out. Also, information will also be in the description for a free quarterly subscription to my magazine, Good to Be Home. More recipes, not this, but great ones like it, and along with articles about taking care of your home, being a home buyer, maintenance stuff, interior decorating, taking care of pets, whatever the company can come up with. So I will see you on the next one. Thanks for stopping by.